uncensored. You appear to have gone into some form of grief about the downfall of this ruthless, vile dictator. Why?
Well, when you say I spent time with Bashar al-Assad, you might have added that I spent time with him in Buckingham Palace when he was a guest of Her Majesty the Queen, literally living in the spare room at Buckingham Palace. The night before, going down the Mall in an open top coach with Her Majesty on a royal trot around central London. You might have mentioned that Tony Blair suggested a knighthood for Bashar al-Assad. I've met him once, twice in my life, and the second time, not on my own. So grief, no, my grief is for Syria. My grief is for the Syrian people, who are now ruled by ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And if you were being honest with yourself, knowing what you do about ISIS and Al-Qaeda, you'd be grieving with me.
But you cannot defend Assad's record of how he has treated his own people, given the scale of death, destruction, wrongful imprisonment, torture, and so on. Can you?
Even if 1/5 of what you just said there is the case, that is not a justification for making every matter worse. Now, it's true that Paul had a dramatic conversion on the road to Damascus, but we know al-Golani. He wasn't just the number 2 to Zarqawi in Iraq. He was the Al-Qaeda number 2 in Iraq, killing British soldiers, by the way, killing American soldiers, by the way. And then he went to Syria and became the number 2 to al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS in Syria. So that would knock Paul's conversion on the road to Damascus into a cocked hat. Now, like you, I'm waiting for developments. Like you, I'm ready to treat this on its merits. If the Christian priests are not massacred, if the nuns are not kidnapped, if the religious minorities and Kurdish minorities and Druze minorities are not hunted down, like Golani did just 7 years ago, well, nobody will be happier than me.
What is your current view of Bashar al-Assad?
He's a dictator like all the Arab rulers are dictators. Sir Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, is right now, in Saudi Arabia, freedom-loving Saudi Arabia, trying to get some money out of them for the parlous British economy. The idea that Assad is a worse dictator than the other Arab dictators is for the birds. The real crime of al-Assad was that he allowed the Palestinian resistance to stay, to base, to train, and to live in Syria, and to direct the operations of the Palestinian resistance. That's why they really hate Assad, not for the reasons of dictatorship. All our friends in the Middle East are dictatorships. And as you talked about the undoubted horrors of al-Assad's prisons, I got to remembering that Guantanamo Bay is still open.
Yeah, I know. And Barack Obama ran in 2008 on one of his manifesto pledges was he would